Catbalogan, officially the City of Catbalogan. Catbalogan City is the capital of Samar Province, Philippines, with a population of 103,879. It is Samar's main commercial, trading, educational, political and financial center. It is also an important and major seaport serving inter-island vessels. Catbalogan City's central geographical location in Eastern Visayas makes it ideal as the gateway to the region's three Samar provinces. The city is often referred to as the gateway to Samar region. Each region of the country has its own patron saint, and the feast days are celebrated with gusto. Catbalogan City's patron saint is Saint Bartholomew the Apostle, and celebrates its city fiesta on August 24th. Known in the scriptures as Nathaniel Street, Bartholomew was one of the 12 apostles of Christ and a martyr of the Christian faith. He also witnessed the ascension of Jesus. Together with St. Jude, he introduced Christianity to Armenia during the 1st century. He preached in India, Mesopotamia, Iran and Egypt and was able to convert thousands to Christianity. The Philippine Army's 8th Infantry Division is based at Camp General Vicente Lucban, Barangay Morlong, Catbalogan City. The camp is named in honor of Gen. Vicente Lucban, a Filipino officer in Gen. Emilio Aguinaldo's staff during the Philippine Revolution and the politico-military chief of Samar and Leyte during the Philippine-American War. History. Catbalogan City was founded or settled sometime in October 1596 by the priests of the Jesuit order and became the cabecera of the whole island of Samar. Friar Francisco de Otazo S.J., who arrived in the Philippines in 1596, founded the Catbalogan Mission and was thus the first missionary to bring the Catholic faith to the people of Catbalogan. In 1627, Catbalogan was raised to the status of residencia, and among its dependencies were Paranas, where in 1629 Father Pedro Estrada actively evangelized the area, and Calbiga, where he took white rocks or grey limestone to use as building blocks for its church. The church has a arch-like stone roof that was pasted together to dry on each block, giving an arching force to the side. On October 17, 1768, Catbalogan was ceded to the Franciscans, who took over from the Jesuits. The first Franciscan parish priest was Fray José Feo, OFM. During the early days of Spanish colonization of the Philippines in the 16th century, Samar was under the jurisdiction of Cebu but later was declared a separate province. In 1735, Samar and Leyte were united into one province with Carigara in Leyte as the capital. The union, however, did not prove satisfactory. In 1768, Catbalogan City became the provincial capital when Samar separated from Leyte and became an independent province. On January 27, 1900, the Americans captured Catbalogan City during the Philippine-American War. On June 17, 1902, a provincial civil government was established on Samar Island by an act of the Philippine Commission, with Julio Llorente of Cebu as the first governor of Samar. On May 24, 1942, during World War II, Japanese forces landed in Barrio Pangdin and occupied the capital. On December 18, 1945, American and Filipino forces liberated Catbalogan City from the Japanese. In 1948, the barrios of Giabong, Jan, Molino, San Fernando, Casapa, Camorabon, Loligayan, Magcabitas, Palayogan, Dogongan, Biog, and Malabago were separated to form the municipality of Giabong. On June 19, 1965, the Philippine Congress, along with the province's three congressmen, Eladio T. Balite, Fernando R. Veloso and Felipe J. Abrigad, approved Republic Act No. 4,221, dividing Samar into three provinces, namely Western Samar, Eastern Samar and Northern Samar, respectively. Catbalogan City thus ceased to be the capital of the whole island province after enjoying the prestige of being the premier town of Samar for 197 years since 1768. On June 21, 1969, under Republic Act No. 5650, Western Samar was renamed Samar, with Catbalogan City remaining as the capital. The greatest calamities to occur in Catbalogan City were big fires. The April 1, 1957 conflagration, considered as the most destructive one, caused damage to properties in the amount of 30 million pesos. The next was on May 19, 1969. Where damage was estimated at 20 million pesos, and the more than century-old St. Bartholomew Roman Catholic Church was razed to the ground. Paradoxically, like the proverbial phoenix, each time Catbalogan City suffered under the throes of these calamities, better buildings and infrastructures emerged from the ashes. As early as 1960, Catbalogan already agitated to become a city. In 1969, Wahida Fernando P. Veloso sponsored House Bill No. 1867 creating Catbalogan into a city. The bill was being deliberated in the Philippine Senate, but the blaze of 1969 unfortunately caused it to be shelved. Subsequent efforts were made by Catbalogan's political leaders, such as Mayor Jesus B. Redeja, Vice Mayor Gerardo C. Tevez, Councillor Art Sherwin Gabon, Mayor Corrado Tequa, UY and Vice Mayor Manuel Vanay Torrevillas, and Representatives Antonio Eduardo B. Natura and Catalino V. Figueroa respectively, to make Catbalogan's cityhood dream a reality despite strong and rabid opposition by the League of Cities of the Philippines, particularly Catbalogan City's neighboring Calbayog under the administration of Mayor Melsenon Sarmiento. On March 15, 2007, Catbalogan finally attained its cityhood. Under the sponsorship of Senator Alfredo S. Liman by virtue of Republic Act No. 9391, Catbalogan was converted into a component city known as the City of Catbalogan following a unanimous vote by the Philippine Senate. Senator Manuel Villa, Jr., Congressman Jose de Venecia, Jr., Oscar G. Yabes, Roberto P. Nazareno and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo were among its signatories. The residents of Catbalogan overwhelmingly ratified this change through a cumulus plebiscite on June 16, 2007, with over 92% yes votes for cityhood. However, Catbalogan temporarily lost its cityhood, along with 15 other cities, after the Supreme Court of the Philippines in a very close 6-5 vote granted a petition filed by the League of Cities of the Philippines, and declared the cityhood law which allowed the town to acquire its city status unconstitutional. On December 10, 2008, Catbalogan and the other 15 cities affected filed a motion for reconsideration with the Supreme Court. More than a year later, on December 22, 2009, acting on said appeal, the court reversed its earlier ruling as it ruled that, at the end of the day, the passage of the amendatory law is no different from the enactment of a law, i.e., the cityhood laws specifically exempting a particular political subdivision from the criteria earlier mentioned. Congress, in enacting the exempting law per second, effectively decreased the already codified indicators. As such, the cityhood status of Catbalogan was effectively restored. Demographics. Notable Catbaloganons: Antonio Eduardo Natura, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Michael Cinco, Dubai-based fashion designer. Romero Quimbo, Representative, 2nd District of Marikina City and former PAG-IBIG President. Rosalio D. Martires, also known as Yoyong Martire, former Philippine Basketball Association player. Tom Rodriguez, television personality.